Hi Taurus and Taurus Rising, here is your horoscope for August 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, this month we have a very busy month for many of you. So if you're a Taurus sun sign or a Taurus rising sign, this reading is for you. It's a very, very general, basic overview. Sun sign readings are very general because everyone's birth chart is different. Everyone's birthday is different. So we just take the sign or the rising sign, put it on the first house cusp here, and then we place where the planets are for that month. So this is how we have a very good understanding of what is coming, or what the themes are, because each one of these houses represents different areas of your life, and when you have a planet in there, it activates that energy. So again, very basic, using Western astrology, tropical whole house systems. Okay, so take everything with a grain of salt. So let's get started here, and let me talk about what's going on here. So we start off the month, of course, with Mercury retrograde right here in the 4th house. Now this placement here has a lot to do with your feelings, your emotions, your real estate, where you want to live, things pertaining to family. That's all in the mix here. Now you see the sun is going through this 4th house. So this could be a good time to spend time with your children, talk about moving, talk about land, real estate, talk about emotions and feelings. That's the theme here. Now, but with Mercury retrograde, it's going to take you into the past. Unfortunately, Mercury is going to go direct this month, but it'll still be in this 4th house. So you're starting off the month with this feeling, and sensitivity. Where do I belong? Is this what I really want? I'm feeling more sensitive than normal. That's the theme here, especially the first half of the month. Now, the second half of the month actually looks a lot better because the sun will leave Leo and will go into Virgo, which is the 5th house, which is much more creative and fun-loving. So we'll have that going on. But we do have other planets that are retrograde. We have Saturn that's retrograde, Neptune that's retrograde, and Pluto that's retrograde. And so these are kind of like making you question everything. So this month is really about questioning everything, especially since now Uranus has entered your 2nd house in the sign of Gemini. This has a lot to do with values and beliefs, and also has to do with the material side of life, like money, investments, all of that. So this is going to be on the table as well. So there's a lot of confusion. But your ruler here is in Cancer, going through the 3rd house of communication, ideas, and short-term travel. So what this is suggesting is you are thinking or trying to think outside the box. You're trying to maybe figure out what you want for the future. You're talking to family members because the sign is in Cancer. Maybe you're thinking about real estate. That is also under this umbrella. But there's going to be a wonderful alignment with Venus and Jupiter that happens around the middle of the month, which should really be insightful for many of you. Or maybe you're going to have a very important conversation with somebody that you really care about. So this is going to be part of the equation. So lots of thinking, lots of emotion, lots of reevaluating. The second half of the month, like I said, should be a big improvement for many of you. Okay, but remember, when Mercury's retrograde is a confusion element, or the past is being brought up, and this causes hesitation and concern and so on. But the month starts off, let's go into it, on the 6th, late on the 6th into the 7th, when Mars enters Libra. Now, Mars is symbolically an aggressive, fiery, get-up-and-go kind of sign, okay? It's about action and war and conflict and achievement and so on. It's in the opposite sign of Libra, which is none of those things. Libra is passive, very relationship-oriented, indecisive, values beauty and aesthetics, and wants things to be peaceful. And Mars is not like that. So Mars in Libra, when it goes through Libra, it's in what's called detriment. It does not do well in Libra because the energy is being sort of squashed or stifled in some way. So now we have Mars in Libra, again, the sign of balance and fairness, but it's also the sign of indecisiveness. And it's moving through the 6th house. The 6th house is daily routine. It's about health. It's about pets. It's about service to others. Now, the good news about Mars in Libra is that it goes back and forth between aggression and passivity, being passive. And so during this next 5.5, 6 weeks with Mars going through the 6th house, I would suggest focusing on health matters, taking care of your daily routine, maybe finding some balance between, being super aggressive and slowing down. Mars in the 6th house could be maybe wanting to be around other people so you could take care of them in some way, maybe even a pet. So this is going to be, again, part of the challenge this month, especially the first half, because of also Mars being in Libra. And so, you're questioning your work, you're questioning, am I in the right field? This is all on the radar here in the astrology, and Mars in Libra just adds a little bit more confusion into the mix. So I would suggest don't make any major life-changing decisions the first half of August. Now, the full moon on the 9th is going to continue to highlight that career path right here. So it'll be a full moon in Aquarius. It'll be actually at 17 degrees of Aquarius, so wherever that is in your actual birth chart, you want to look at that house. But for the most part, in this sun chart, it has a lot to do with the 10th house of career versus the 4th house of home and stability. So anything concerning the home, the foundation, family matters, your feelings versus responsibility, being in the public, dealing with communities, dealing with acquaintances, friendships, technology, that all falls under the umbrella of Aquarius. So maybe you're thinking about changing jobs. Maybe you're thinking about, changing positions within your company. Maybe you're needing to let go of employees. Maybe you're needing to hire employees. Whatever it is, full moons in Aquarius are very psychic towards the future, because Aquarius and Sagittarius are the two signs that are very much visionaries in the zodiac. And so maybe you have an understanding that whatever you're doing right now, you need to change career-wise. And so you're coming to this realization, this understanding, maybe you're having some really vivid dreams about what the future holds. So always a good time to pay attention around full moons, because they are bringing up something from the subconscious. Okay, so that is another area to keep an eye on. Now, fortunately, on the 11th, moving forward, the action starts to improve. The energy starts to improve, and it starts off with Mercury going direct in Leo. So here it is on the 11th in stationary position before it goes direct, and it's in the 4th house. So it'll take about a week or two for it to really pick up speed. So here we have clarification, beginning to understand, beginning to have important conversations. Your mind starts to change in some way, in a more forward-thinking motion. Mercury in Leo is very creative. So again, don't discount that either. But there's something else that happens here on the 12th into the 13th, and that's your ruler Venus making a conjunction with overly optimistic Jupiter. And so this could be a very, very nice time for many of you, give or take a few days on either side. Okay, so I would say so from the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, even into the 14th, these two will be together, which means that either you're going to be traveling, your mind is going to be extremely active, you may be moving, you may be remodeling your home because it's in Cancer, you may be having important conversations with family members or loved ones, that could be very insightful as well. Jupiter is about the bigger picture, and Venus here wants peace and tranquility and beauty. This could have something to do with finances as well. For instance, maybe you're buying a home and you're having to go for a loan, and you're going over documents and financial papers and so on and so forth. But generally speaking, in astrology, Venus conjunct Jupiter is usually a very positive alignment. So take advantage of this opportunity to speak your mind, to write, to travel, to talk to someone you really care about and express your feelings to them, because it's in the sign of Cancer. So this is really something nice to look forward to. And then from this point forward, everything starts to improve when the sun enters Virgo right there. Now, Virgo is an earth sign like yours. It's entering the 5th house of love, playfulness, romance, creativity. And so this helps to feel better, to be more creative, to enjoy yourself. So I highly encourage it, okay? Especially with the sun going through Virgo. And there is a tendency to be a little pessimistic with Virgo, but that's only because they're always analyzing everything at the smallest level. But don't get caught in that trap. Things look really good here after the 22nd. the new moon on the 23rd even looks better, because the new moon is a 2-week cycle that brings in opportunities in whatever house it lands. So it's in the 5th house. It's going to be at 0 degrees of Virgo, wherever that is in your birth chart. And so you want to take a look at that. So this has to do with a new project, maybe a new endeavor, maybe a new romance, maybe you're rekindling one from the past. This is all the theme here with that Virgo energy being activated during that new moon. Now Venus, your ruler, switches signs on the 25th. Now this is where it really gets interesting, because Venus in Leo likes to express itself. It wants attention. But it's in the 4th house, which it has to do with real estate, home, feeling, foundation. And so there could be many issues around real estate. Maybe you're remodeling a home, maybe you're buying some new furniture, whatever. But there is a but here. We need to be very aware that Venus is also going to run right into Pluto right there. 1 degree, 1 degree. So whatever you're doing around this time, it could involve a partnership, it could involve a financial matter, it could involve a home, remodeling. Could be somebody that moves in that's not doing too well. So there is a massive amount of change here taking place towards the end of the month. I still look at it as positive, because there's some other things going on here that look much better. So this could be just a few days until Venus passes, that alignment there. So it's still, I need to mention it just to pay attention to what's going on with your relationships and even financial matters. So keep an eye on that. Anyway, there's the general overview. If you want to know more, I do an extended version of this in my Inner Circle community. And as you can see here, I do the Zoom calls every Sunday. I do the weekly astrology overview video, which the members really do enjoy. And of course, if members have any questions, they send me the questions. We address them on our Sunday Zoom call. If they want me to take a look at a chart, I absolutely will answer a few questions on that chart. And so, consider joining. There's a 7-day free trial, so there's no obligation. And a lot of members really do enjoy being there. And of course, every Sunday I talk much more freely about what's going on in the world, from conspiracies to aliens to, what the trends are for the future. Members do get a heads up ahead of time than here on YouTube. All right, so anyway, I left the link down below. Hope to see you in the community, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great month. Bye for now.